Hi everyone, we're live. Welcome. Let me just type a message in here for you guys. All right. So, all right. We have a couple people just jumping on right now. I'm getting people opting in for the webinar as we speak here.
Welcome.
Oh, hang on a second.
Let me just.
All right. You should be seeing me on your screen now. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. If you know me, you know that I like to start on time. I like to honor those of you that show up on time and not waste any time. So I'm always on time or early for everything. So if you ever come to any of my webinars, as long as it's up to me, sometimes I'm doing them with somebody else and I don't have control, and then sometimes they don't start on time. But I like to be on time. So thank you for being here on time. I want to let you know that I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. This is not a scripted webinar. Like, I don't have the whole PowerPoint presentation or anything like that. This isn't anything like that. This is just me wanting to give you a look over my shoulder to show you some things that I'm doing in my business that are making a huge difference with follow-up, okay? Before I get into that, I just want to also mention that I'm using this platform that we are all here on right now, Webinars on Air, for the first time tonight, and I'm loving this platform so far. This service is provided in the back office of the system that I use to build my businesses with. The system is called My Lead System Pro, and you're going to see some of that tonight because the contact management system that I use, that I'm going to be showing you guys how to use a contact. I mean, you can use any contact management system, but that's inside of my my back office here too. But this platform is part of my Lead System Pro back office, and I love it because I've been doing webinars for a long time, and this service just has all this other cool stuff that makes it so much easier. Like, how many of you guys have been getting reminders, like just regular reminders all day today from Webinars on Air? I don't have to do any of that. This service connects with my email autoresponder, and it automatically keeps in touch with everybody that registered for the webinar. It has all this other cool stuff that you can do with it. Oh, by the way, if you can see me, but you can't see the chat box, if you look in the upper left-hand side of your screen, you should see a little, speech bubble thing. If you click on that, the chat should pop up for you. And then you can interact with each other or me right here on the screen. So just some housekeeping things to keep in mind. And then, yeah, so the other thing that I want you guys to know is I'm gonna enable the questions because I'm gonna take okay. Do you guys, let me just see something real quick. Okay, so the Q&A is now enabled. So if you click on that, it should allow you to submit a question. What I'm gonna do is I definitely wanna answer all of your questions. So after I go through all this stuff, I'm gonna, you can ask your questions as we go in that question place, and that way all the questions will be in one place. And then once I get done showing you everything that I'm going to show you, you can submit your questions to me. And I mean, you can submit your questions as we go, but when I'm done with everything that I'm going to show you, I will go through I'll make sure I get all of those questions answered before we jump off. Awesome. Robert saying the Q&A is open. Yeah, so at the end of, my training, I'm probably not going to stop in the middle of training, like while I'm sharing my screen and stuff, to answer questions. But as, hey, Shireen, as questions come up as I go through, rather than trying to remember all your questions, just go ahead and click on that question tab and you can type in your questions. And then at the end, I'll make sure I get them all answered, I promise, okay? I want to try to keep this to an hour, including the Q&A, but I'm not gonna make any promises because depending on how many questions come through, you know, I'll take as much time as we need in order to make sure all your questions get answered, okay? So let me just, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm using this platform for the first time tonight, so bear with me if I fumble around. I don't really think I'm gonna fumble because it's so fun and easy to use. It's so great. One of the things I love about this thing is that I have the chat right here on the same page as the Hangout, which if any of you guys have ever hosted a Hangout before on like a regular, like you're got your Google page going on and then you have like the page on your website or wherever you have it streaming, and they're two separate pages and the chat's on one and you're on the other and you have to kind of toggle back and forth, where here I have it all on one page. I can also do cool stuff. I'm playing around with this, like I can create like different offers if I'm talking about, like say I do a webinar and I'm specifically talking about my coaching program that I'm launching. I can offer you guys my coaching program. I can even put like a button where you can buy it right there without even having to leave the page, which is really cool. Or I can do stuff like this. Let's see if this works. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, can you guys see, tell me in the chat, can you see this webinars on air thing that I just put in there? That, let me know if you can see that. You should be able to see it. And if not, you can, I think you can click on the offers tab on the left. In any case, what's cool about this platform is if I'm talking about something that I want to be able to easily share with you, I can share it like this, and it makes it super easy for people to click on. Well, I guess it's live because somebody's already clicked on it. It even tells me how many people have clicked on it. It's so awesome. I love this. Yeah, this is going to make doing webinars so much easier because like the setup, there's no setup. Well, before I had to go, like I had to create the Google Hangout on Google, and then I had to go create a page on my website to do the webinar on. And then I had to get the embed code from Google and put it on that page. And then if I had like an opportunity that I was offering people, I had to create a button for that and put it underneath the, you know, like there's all these steps. We're here, I don't have to do any of that. So if at any time you want to learn more about webinars on air, you have this. I'm not going to leave this up, but if you click on the webinars on air logo at the top of the page, that will also take you to where you can learn more about this service. And like I said, in my back office for the system that I use to build my businesses online, my Lead System Pro webinars on air is actually partially created by one of the creators of MLSP, so they're kind of connected, and I think this is the coolest thing ever. So anyway, I'm glad you're here with me tonight while I use this platform for the first time. And yeah, all right, let me see. Okay, hide offer. Okay, so I don't think the offer shouldn't be showing anymore. Yeah, hey Thea. Yeah, anytime you want to bring the chat back up, just click on the chat icon. I can also disable the chat, which I probably won't do, but some people like to do it during a webinar because then it makes your screen bigger. So if I'm doing like screen sharing and I want you to be able to really see, if I disable the chat, then the video takes up your whole screen and it makes it easier for you to see. But I doubt I'm going to do that tonight. I'll just let you guys chat. So yeah, I'm so happy to see you guys here. And all right, so let's see. Is there anything else I had to say about housekeeping stuff? So yeah, the chat, if you don't see your chat box, it's in the upper left. Click on it, the chat will pop up, and I'll be able to see, you'll be able to interact with each other. Also submit your questions there anytime during this training, and I will answer all the questions at the end. So any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them, and I will stay on as long as it takes. Like I said, I'm going to try to give you everything that I have in enough time to keep this whole thing with questions to about an hour. But if there's a lot of questions, I will go over as needed to make sure that everybody's questions get answered. So don't be shy. Ask your questions. All right, let's see. So just to give you, I guess before I get into the actual training. So like I said, this training is not scripted at all. I don't have like a bunch of PowerPoint slides that I'm going to be following. I created 2 slides just to kind of, and they're very, very simple. Neither one of them has very much on it. And I just kind of threw 2 slides together just to give you guys some basic information. So let me share the first one with you. I think most of you know who I am already because you probably opted in to this webinar. All right. Hopefully that's better. I can't really turn it much more than that, Thea, but I hope that's a little bit better. Anyway, just in case, for those of you that don't know me, I'm just going to give you a quick background on me. I'm a single mother, and I've been able to create a multiple 6-figure income from home while raising 2 kids by myself. I've been a single mother since these are my 2 girls, Brielle and Ava. And I've went through a divorce right after Ava was born. So she's 7 now. So I've been raising these kids the whole time on my own. And I've been just really committed from the get-go to not having to go to a job because I didn't want to be away from my kids. I mean, I couldn't even stand the thought of it. So I've figured out, like I've taught myself how to market on the internet. I'm a big blogger, and video marketing is something that I love. And there's lots of stuff that I've learned how to do. I mean, I'm self-taught. I have to say a lot of the stuff that I've learned inside of My Lead System Pro, which is the system that I just mentioned that I've been using for over 6 years now, that has all kinds of really cool training inside of it. And I've just kind of plugged in and taught myself how to do this. And I've been able to raise my kids without having to go to a job, which has been awesome. I'm an author. I have 1 published book so far. I'm working on another one, and a lot of ebooks and courses as well. Speaker, a coach, mentor, and one of the biggest things about me, I'm a strong believer in conscious marketing. That's kind of my passion, is helping people to market authentically while living from passion. I see a lot of people who are trying to build businesses on the internet, and all they're doing is copying and pasting other people's stuff, and they're not using their own voice or their own gifts to make a living on the internet. And so that's one of the things that I do, is help people to be able to do that. That's one of my biggest passions. So let me come back to, okay. So, all right, so that's a little bit about me. And now, before I get into like the technical stuff where I'm gonna show you my screen and everything, let me just give you a little bit of backstory about why I'm doing this. So I have been, let's see, like I said, I've been building a business on the internet for a while, 6 years or so. And about 3.5 years ago, I guess it was, I hired an assistant to call, not my leads, but to call the people that joined me in my business. I decided that I wasn't going to take the time to talk to people until they joined my business. And even then, I wanted her to call them first and give them some things to do before I got on the phone with them. Because single mother, I don't want to waste my time with tire kickers or people that, join but aren't willing to do what they need to do to get started and all of that. So basically, my assistant, each time someone would join my business, my assistant would call them and introduce herself and give them their next steps and say, like, here's the getting started training you need to go through. And once you go through it, let me know and I'll schedule an appointment with Amy, where and then I would get on the phone and do like a new member coaching session with each of my new team members. But before I would do that with them, they had to go through the getting started training. So I wasn't getting on the phone with anybody unless they, did those steps first. And what that did was it basically, proved to me that this person was serious enough to go through the getting started steps because, let's face it, a lot of people don't even do that much. Like they join stuff and they think that money's going to fall out of the sky and they don't even take the time to go through the getting started steps. So at least I knew that the people that I was getting on the phone with, A, they're already paid. They joined my business. And B, they've gone through the getting started steps. And so I know that they're ready to go. They're ready to start earning money. So now I can get on the phone with them and help them. Once I started implementing this, once I hired an assistant and started doing it this way, my business skyrocketed. It literally tripled in a matter of months. People they took me more seriously when I got on the phone with them. They didn't waste my time. They knew that they had an appointment, that they got 20 minutes, and that was that. And in any case, I have a whole other training about this piece, which I'm not going to do tonight. That's not what tonight's about. I'm just giving you some of the backstory. So that's what I was doing for the longest time. And can someone just let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay? Because I just want to make sure that I'm not talking to myself. So if someone could just let me know in the chat, that would be awesome. I think there's a delay on the chat, so I'll just wait a second. But in any case, so this strategy helped a lot. But what happened was, okay, awesome. Thank you, Robert. What happened was once I started doing this, what I was doing before I hired my assistant was I was calling my leads. A lot of the capture forms that I use inside of my system have an optional box where people can put in their phone number. It's optional. They don't have to put it in. But there's a box there where they can put it in. So before I had hired my assistant, I was actually using that phone number to call my leads and form a connection with them. And what happened was I started having great results, and I became the featured member inside of the system 1 month. They featured me. They did a whole write-up about, I was getting amazing results. But once I got to a certain point and I decided to shift things and stop getting on the phone with my leads and hired my assistant to call just my members, like I said, my business took off. Because the people that were joining my business were way more engaged because of that process I was taking them through, and because I was only spending my time with the serious people inside of my business. However, something that I've noticed is that, my conversions aren't as high if I'm not getting on the phone with my leads. I don't have as many people joining my business, right? So recently, what I did was, so when I was using MLSP, before I hired my assistant, there was no contact management system built into MLSP at all. So when I was calling my leads, I was having to organize everything myself on a spreadsheet and keep track of everything, which I didn't even keep track of everything very well. And if I wanted to follow up with somebody afterwards with an email or something like that, I had to generate all that myself. But since then, now inside of MLSP, there's this amazing contact management system. And I went through this system and it's amazing. So I figured out all these cool features that it has and everything like that. And I called my assistant and I said, look, this system is amazing. I want you to start calling my leads, not just the people that join me, but the people that opt into any of my pages that have a phone number. I want you to start calling them. And the cool thing about this system, and I'm going to show you guys all this, but the cool thing is she could put notes in there and I can go in there and see exactly what's going on with each of my prospects. However, what I decided was my conversions still weren't as good as I knew they could be. And I think, what I came to find out is that she was doing an awesome job, but she doesn't know as much about my business as I know, right? So I I have a couple notes jotted down here. I just want to make sure I'm on track. Yeah, okay. So basically, I decided I want to do a little experiment. And I just decided this like a week and a half ago, tops. Week and a half to 2 weeks, I don't know, around there. No, definitely not longer than 2 weeks ago. I think it's been about a week and a half. Anyway, so I told my assistant, look, stop contacting my leads. She has other stuff that I have her doing or whatever. But I said, I want to actually start calling my leads myself, just to see if it makes a difference. And so what I've been doing is I've been going into this contact management system. It's actually really, really fun because and I'll show you why and how it works and everything. And I'm not doing it every day. I'm generating leads every day, but I'm not calling my leads every day. I just have a couple days a week where I go in and I go through this process that I'm going to show you, and it doesn't take very long. And the results have been astonishing. It's been amazing what's been happening since I've been doing this. And, it's just, here's the deal. If you think about it, think about how many things you've opted into. Even in the last week, there's people out there opting into all these gurus, websites all over the place and all kinds of stuff. But if you think about how many of these people are actually calling you, and even if it's a guru, like I've had situations where like if I opted into like, say, Tony Robbins' website, I might get a call from Tony Robbins' assistant, just like my assistant was doing that, right? But imagine if Tony Robbins called me, right? Do you see the difference? Do you see like how different that would feel? And that's what I'm noticing when I'm calling my leads now. I had a woman actually join my business yesterday. I called her. I left her a voicemail. She called me back the minute she got my message. Because let's face it, most people, when you call them and they don't see your name pop up because you're not in their contact list, they don't answer the phone. And we're going to talk about that when I show you how to do this. But so she let it go to voicemail. She listened to the message. She called me back. She's like, I can't even believe you called me. I have opted into so many things, and you are the only one that has called me. And she joined immediately. And so anyway, I really, this has really shown me the power of following up and following up in this way. I have one more slide I'm going to share with you, and it's real short and sweet, and I'll go into each thing in a little more detail. Let me see. If I go to this slide, can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. So this is what I've discovered during this process is why follow-up works. Okay. And I know this doesn't look like much, but I'm going to talk about each thing in a little more detail. So when you call your prospects, it makes them feel honored, taken care of, and informed. Okay. Remember the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Well, there's several different ways that you can follow up with people, right? There's, email follow-up, which you should all be doing if you have some kind of a capture page out there on the internet somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for now because I'm just going to talk about this for a second. So what do I mean by follow-up? So there's different ways to follow up, right? There's when someone opts in to a capture page, and what I'm talking about tonight, just so you guys know, is the leads that I'm generating on the internet. I have capture pages out all over the internet with all kinds of amazing things that I give away for free, like Periscope trainings and whatever that people can opt into. And when they opt in, they get added to my autoresponder list, right? I'm building a list. And that autoresponder list will automatically send emails out to everybody that opts in. And everybody, if you're generating leads, you need to have an autoresponder set up. Because if you don't, what's the point? You have no way to follow up with these people. Unless you do it one-on-one, which doesn't make any sense. Like if you've got thousands and thousands of people on your list and you want to send them all an email at once, you need to be able to do that. And that's what the autoresponder does. So the first step of follow-up is like, so you have your autoresponder system, and you plug a bunch of emails in there that are going to automatically be sent out each time someone opts in. Usually it's a series of emails that get sent out each day or every other day for a certain amount of time that happens on autopilot, so that each time someone opts in, they start to get these emails, right? And this is a critical piece of the equation. I'm not discounting any of these steps at all, okay? I'm leading up to what I find works the best. So that is a critical piece of the equation, because the cool thing about that is these emails are timed starting at when the person opts in. So they're going to go out in a timely fashion to give them the information that they need starting from the day that they opted in, and they're going to start getting information about whatever it is they're asking for information about, right? So these emails are amazing because you're basically giving them more information, trickling more information on a regular basis from the day they opt in. And usually a lot of the emails will have a link that'll take them back to whatever you're offering them. If you're offering them, to join you in your business, or you're offering them a coaching service, or you're offering them a product, or whatever it is, you'll give them more information and constantly give them a link to go back to your sales page. Now, statistics show that the reason that this is so powerful is that it takes people 7 to 10 exposures before they're going to be ready to buy anything from you. So if people aren't using an autoresponder, then I think they're crazy, because if people, and I know people personally, I have somebody near and dear to my heart that I'm related to that's trying to market something on Facebook without a capture page. And to me, I think it's crazy, because to send someone directly to a sales page, and if they don't buy right then and there, you have no way to follow up with them. To me, that's insane. It's a waste of your time and money and energy, right? So the whole goal of the autoresponder is you give something away in exchange for somebody's email address and or phone number, and now you have a way to stay in touch with that person. So the autoresponder emails are the first piece of the equation that are going to be sent out on autopilot. They're going to trickle, over time to, give people more information about what they're opting in for. They're going to give them the opportunity then over time to click on the link and go back to your sales page, because like I said, it takes 7 to 10 exposures most of the time before people are going to be ready to join. They're not going to necessarily join on the spot, right? So you need to stay in touch. So that's the purpose of the autoresponder emails, okay? The second level of follow-up is broadcast emails. And I see a lot of people drop the ball on this piece, where they just completely rely on the autoresponder emails to do everything, to do all the work, and they never stay in touch with their list other than letting the autoresponder emails do their thing. The problem with that is people nowadays know that everything's set up on autopilot. And if they don't see anything timely coming to them, where they can tell that you're actually taking the time to stay in touch with them, they're not going to trust you as well. The other piece is, when I say a broadcast email, what I mean is you're writing an email and sending it out to your whole list that day. It's not timed like an autoresponder to go out a certain amount of days after they opt in or anything like that. But you can do certain things with these broadcast emails that you can't do in an autoresponder. For example, let's say I wrote an awesome blog post today. That's some awesome training that's going to provide a ton of value for my list. And so I can write a broadcast email and say, hey, I just want to let you know I have a new post over on my blog today where I'm going to show you X, Y, Z, and you put a link there for them to go back over to your blog. With this, and I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving them value, right? So what this does is it starts to help you develop a trust, a level of trust with your prospects, because they start to see you as a person of value. You're not selling something in your every email. They see that you're current and you're creating value on a regular basis, and then they go over to your blog, and your blog is like your hub. It's like your home on the internet, where you have the opportunity to really connect with people. They get to see the bigger picture. So they're not just getting emails from you. Now you're sending them to your blog, where they can get to know everything that you're about, everything that you offer. They can get some value from you and start to connect with you. The other thing that you can do with autoresponders is, you can send out an email like on Halloween or something that says like, Happy Halloween, here's a spooky story for you, or whatever. And you send out an email on Halloween that allows people to see like, wow, this isn't an autoresponder email, because how would she know that it's how, I mean, the autoresponder wouldn't know that it's Halloween, right? So they know like there's a real person behind these emails sending them out on a regular basis. It's not just the autoresponders, right? So the broadcast emails are an important piece of the equation. So you've got the autoresponders that go out on their own, however often you tell them to. I'm sorry, someone's got like a chainsaw going across the street. So you have the autoresponders, and then you have the broadcast emails, okay? So that's the next level of staying in touch, sending people to your blog, providing value on a regular basis, letting them get to know you even further. One other thing that I can suggest with the broadcast emails that's worked really well for me, it's not just worked for me when I do it, but it works on me when other people do it. And what that is this is just a quick tip about broadcast emails. When you send out your emails, it's good to like let people into your life because they want to know that you're a real person, right? They want to know that you're someone that they can, you know, trust and connect with and stuff like that. So I'm not suggesting that you send out emails saying, you know, telling people everything about everything that's going on in your life or what your whole day consists of or anything like that. But one thing that you can do that really just gives people like a snippet so they kind of feel like they know where you're at is, and like I said, this has worked really well for me. The things that I have joined through links and emails have been with people that do this, which is just a quick, like I'll say something like, hey, I'm running out the door to my daughter's soccer game, but I just wanted to shoot you an email real quick to let you know that I have a new post over at my blog where I'm teaching you 3 tricks to ... And so what that does is it's not only just sending somebody information to go over to my blog and get the valuable content, it's just giving them a little bit of inside information about what I'm up to today. You know, I'm a soccer mom, I'm heading to my daughter's game. And so over time, when you do that, people start to feel like they know you a little bit better. Like they know I'm a mom, they know my kid plays soccer, you know, whatever you want to share, but share just a little snippet about what you're doing because that lets people feel like they're part of your world, like you're sharing yourself. They just, it makes you more personal. You know what I mean? Like it makes you stand out above all the other noise and all the other emails that they get that are just simply like very, you know, like there's no personality added to it or there's none of that personal touch added to it. So that's just a little tip about the broadcast emails, okay? So those are the first kind of 2 steps in follow-up, okay? Now what I want to get into is this third piece, and this is the tweak that I've just made recently in my business that is making a huge difference. And this is where, I'll go back to the slide for a second. So why follow-ups work. So this is when you call your prospects, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing with my prospects, including the ones that don't put their phone number in, but why this makes such a difference. And it's because it makes them feel honored, it makes them feel taken care of, and it makes them feel informed. And this is what I've kind of categorized it into, these 3 things. But I'm going to go into a little more detail about each of these. So what do I mean when I say they feel honored? Well, think of it this way, okay? If they're seeing your, like you've got a capture page out on the internet, it's got a video of you talking about whatever, and then they opt in to give you their email address to get whatever it is you're offering them. Oh, really? Is anyone else having trouble? Before I go on, I want to make sure that you guys can still hear me and everything. Because it might just be Robert or it might be a system-wide thing, but I'd like to hear from somebody else. Can you guys still hear me? I'd love to know. I'm going to take a sip of water and see if anyone replies, and then I'll continue. Is anyone there? Can anyone even hear me? Nobody's replying to me, which makes me wonder if if you guys can still hear me. If someone could please, besides Robert, if somebody could please put in the chat whether they're having issues as well, that would be super helpful for me. I'd like to keep rolling so I can fit this all in. Lots of buffering. All right. Well, I'm not sure what's up with that. Let me see if that helps at all. I just closed out all my other windows. Hopefully that'll help, but I don't know if it's on my end or if it's just, or what. I'll keep going. If you guys are really having trouble, just please chime in the chat. I can see the chat, so let me know what's going on. Because if it's doing it on YouTube too, then it's got nothing to do with, I mean, I'm on a Google Hangout. The webinars on air is just the plugin that's in the Google Hangout, so it can't be from that. Anyway, I will continue, and just let me know, because I want to honor your time. So what I was saying is, when you call your prospects, think of it this way. So they're opting into one of your pages, and you, all right, I'm starting to lose people. Are you guys, somebody let me know in the chat, just in case you can't hear me. I'm going to type it in the chat. Okay, so I typed it in for those of you that can't hear me or whatever. So someone's opting into your capture page from the internet. You know, they've seen you in a video, they've been on your blog. All right, maybe I have to refresh. I don't know what to do.